Hey guys, I'm Bethany. I am a wife and a mother of two, and often it's a hot mess express over here, and we're just doing our best. So anyways, if you saw last week's video, at that point I had this under control, and then I didn't. So I think it was Wednesday I cleaned last week. It was the only day that I was home. And then I was so tired. I can't remember. I think it was Thursday because I really just did not feel good this past week. So my daughter had practice, and I told my son, I was like, here, I'm going to give you, we're going to get electronics or whatever, and I know that she don't get out till later, but we're going to go ahead and go to the school, and I'm going to take a nap in the parking lot. And I slept until she got done. And then I drove home, and then I went back to sleep until he had practice that night. So it was, last week really tried to do me in, and my voice is like trying to go out, but we're just going to struggle through that. But so anyways, up until that point, I had this all under control, and then it snowballed because I didn't feel good, and we were out of the house, and then Bean got lonely because we were out of the house, and typically she's not destructive, but if we're out of the house that much for that long, then she will become more destructive. So she got into, which she shredded a couple of her toys, which is fine because that's why she has them, and she got into the trash and a couple of other things, and it's really not a big deal. I don't know if you hear that wind, but it's crazy outside. But so she was just a little bit of a hot mess, and that's fine. She's a pup. I think she's like 2.5, so I don't expect any different. She's a dog. That's what they do. So anyways, also, last week we had really bad storms, and tonight we're having really bad storms. In fact, I'm staying up to make sure we don't blow away, or if they decide, if the weather decides to blow us away, I can wake up my children and husband and tell them to go to the basement. So anyways, if you hear the wind and the thunder, I apologize. That's just what's happening. Also, if you're in the path of this stuff, I pray that you are okay and that you got shelter and all the things, because it is not fun. It is not fun at all. But so anyways, I'm going to get this kitchen cleaned up and tidied, and my countertops are disgusting. I know you can't see it or tell it, but oh my goodness, it's so bad. But I'm going to get that cleaned up, and then we're going to move on to the dining room. Also, I had big plans this weekend before this decided that it was going to try to blow us away. I was going to go get chickens, and I was going to try to start my garden seeds because I'm late on that. And I was going, so I didn't get mushroom compost. Wanted to do that too, but due to the storms and it raining, I can't really go do that. So anyways, I had big plans for the garden this weekend and chickens, and boom, it all got wiped out. But so anyways, I did, I got 2 things done that were outside. My neighbor had this tool, and it is like a hand cultivator thing, but it has like a handle, and it's tall, and you just stick it in the dirt and turn it. That thing is amazing. It works so well. I got all of my beds hand tilled up, so now I can just put my mushroom compost in, and if I can find one of those, I'm gonna buy it. I've been looking everywhere. In fact, I watch Kimmy Cope, I think's her name. I know her name's Kimmy. I think her last name's Cope. But so anyways, I watch her, and her last video, their Dollar General had one. Mine does not. I have 12 around here, so I haven't checked enough. But her Dollar General had one, and I was like, that's what I want. That's the tool. But I can't find it. But so anyways, I'm going to find it. But if you see her video, or you see those things, and you garden, that thing's amazing. If it's raised beds where you can't till, great idea. But so anyways, I got that done. And I need to add mushroom compost to my beds. That's one of the outside things that I got done was just tilled up my dirt. And then I bought a little shrub rake because the chickens have thrown all of my mulch like everywhere and it's all in the grass. But my big rake wouldn't rake it up. So I bought one of those and I raked that up. And that's it. That's all I got done outside. And now it's trying to blow away. So, and it stormed last weekend. And I lost a shingle, or the neighbor did. I don't know. We have the same color roof, so I've been walking around trying to find the shingle that blew off somebody's house. I don't know if it's mine or my neighbor's. And so the next day I'm like, okay, I'm finding where this shingle came from. So I walk like 2 yards down so I can see my whole roof because I can't see it. And then I noticed the vinyl siding on the front of my house is flapping in the wind. I was like, lovely. So I used a shovel and a rake and put it back up there. It worked. It's stuck back in there, and I didn't have to get a ladder because it was still super windy. So anyways, this week's been a doozy. If you got nothing else from all that, this week has been a doozy. So anyways, let's get this done. Also, I don't wash my canisters every time. I only wash them every other time because they take forever to dry, just for the record. If you think that's gross, I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with all that madness. But so anyways, let's get this done. Oh, that's the sweet sugared lemon, I think it is, Mainstays candle, but it smells really good, especially for spring. And I don't know if you can hear that wind, but it is pretty wild out there. But so anyways, so I was going to start my seeds this weekend. I was talking about that earlier, and I didn't say why. So I was saving my egg cartons because I was just going to start them in there because they don't need a whole lot of space. And I literally forgot what I was saving them for, and I threw them away. I was so mad. First off, eggs are expensive, okay? Second off, I was like, oh, now I don't have to buy little cups, to plant your seeds in. And then, yeah, I threw them away. So now do I wait till I eat more eggs, or do I just go buy more cups? Probably just going to go buy more cups. I was really wanting to get some outside stuff done this weekend, and I feel like this storm threw a whole wrench in my plans. Like seriously, I'm really disappointed. But also, if I would just watch the weather, I probably would have known that I wouldn't be able to do any of that this weekend. Just saying. But so anyways, also, it said it's supposed to be dying down, but it is getting, it's really windy now. It was not that windy earlier. There was more thunder, but, oh, there's thunder. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm on make sure we don't blow away duty until 1 o'clock. So right now while I'm doing this voiceover, it is midnight. So I think we're good at 1. I think all of the tornado watch warning stuff will be over. So we're under a watch, not a warning. Around us has had a few warnings, but... So this is overwhelmed stress cleaning at its finest. But so I wanted to finish putting the board games in bags. So those came in, so I'm going to do that, even though there's 1,000 other things I need to do. That's just what I'm going to do. So let's get that done. And then my living room is a disaster because we were out of the house 4 evenings this week. And one of those evenings, the one that we were home, I just came home and went to bed because I was exhausted. So this is what happens. But so anyway, she destroyed the house, and with good reason. I mean, she's a pup and she was left inside, and Frank's only fun for so long. So I'm gonna get this done, the dining room cleaned, and then we're gonna go work on that disaster. So anyways, let's get to it. Also, I have to do laundry. It's a lot, but get it all done, and then I'll be ready to start the next week, hopefully. So I've been checking thrift stores for a dresser, similar to the one that I painted in a previous video. It's the one back there, if you can see it, that my son's 3D printer's on. I've been looking for a dresser about that size because I want to replace this shelf with a dresser. And I think it would be easier to organize, and like the drawers would be easier to organize, and I would still use bins to organize their things by categories inside the drawers, but I think it would just be a lot nicer and more organized. And then I could actually have more things, like I could put like laptops and chargers in a drawer, and school supplies in a drawer. Hold on, I'm sorry, my voice is going out. I'm doing the best I can. But so anyways, I think it would have more function than the bookshelf. And I think also the bookshelf is pretty long horizontally, so I thought if it was shorter, then it wouldn't feel like as much of my dining area is taken up for it, and I could put my leaf back in my dining room table if I wanted. Don't know that I want to, but it was just an option. But so anyways, I thought that would be a good idea. Also, if you are from the South, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you're not, there's only one season that's guaranteed here, and that is pollen season. Everything else, winter, summer, spring, fall, none of that has to make sense. The only thing that's guaranteed is pollen season. And we have trees blooming, so there you go. If you don't have some kind of allergy going on right now, just wait. You'll have one. Give it a week. So we don't have the yellow dusting on our car yet, but I'm pretty sure it's right around the corner. But like, I have a few of my trees, my apple trees, my pear trees, they're all starting to bloom out. So I don't know exactly what caused this. I don't know if it's even from pollen or allergies. I have no clue. But anyways, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and no, this was not just Bean. It was Frank too. He was a culprit. I'm just kidding. He only gets what she steals. He's so cute. He's a little grandpa. I think he might be 13 this year. So he is, but I mean, he's thriving. He's getting around. He is so cute. And he still plays Frisbee. He's a great dog. But so anyways, this mess, it was not just Bean. Some of that was me. Some of it was the kids. The blankets were all over. So, but she shredded some of her toys and all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure she had every toy out of her basket. Also, Frank likes to sniff the dust pile. I don't know why. So I always have to run him off, because if not, he ends up just tracking it and smearing around everywhere, and then there was no point in sweeping. Bean does the same thing. She just wasn't in here at that time. She also, every time I get the garbage out of the cabinet to throw it away, she climbs in the cabinet, and I'll shut the door on her, and she'll just stay in there. She literally could just push it open, but she just stays in there. But I think it's funny. And no, it's not that mean. I let her right back out. But she literally doesn't even try. She doesn't push on the door or nothing. She just sits there. So anyways, I'm going to get this all cleaned up. Also, I'm vacuuming my couches with a regular vacuum. My other vacuum was dead. But either way, I used the bottom of it. And that is probably a little bit crazy. But it works. And the other thing is my dogs are shedding something awful. So you can't really tell it, but this couch was covered in dog hair, and it drives me insane. In fact, I find it funny because Bean, every time after I vacuum one spot on the couch, then she will go lay there. It's like she doesn't even want to sit in her own dog hair. I'm like, could you at least like not shed so much or something? I don't know. But so anyways, I'm going to get all this vacuumed off, and you can't see it, but on the wall to the left of your screen, there is a shelf that's literally been here since we did this edition with DVDs on it. And no, I'm not going to get rid of DVDs. Yes, I could get rid of some of them that we don't watch, but I don't get rid of the ones like that my kids like. But I do want to figure out a different way to store DVDs where you don't see them. Haven't figured out what I want to do yet, but that may be a future project. But so anyways, I'm going to, oh, there it is. That shelf right there. Don't like seeing all the DVDs. Do I want to get rid of the DVDs? No. But do I want them concealed? Yes. Also, my TV stand, I need to dust the inside of it. It's disgusting. I got in there today and I thought, oh my goodness, this is so bad. Did I dust it? No. But it's a future project. But so anyways, I'm going to get this all done. And I think that's going to be it. I think I'm just going to finish this living room and be done. Thanks for hanging out with me. Remember, today's a blessing, and I hope I see you on the next one. Bye, guys.